right, welcome back to HashrateUp. Today, I am sitting down with Mr. Obwexer, straight out of Austria, co-founder and CEO at 21 Energy. HashrateUp, hardware sales, advisory, hosting, and site brokerage. Find new and used ASIC deals through the website and the Telegram channel below. Make smarter decisions with HashrateUp. Hello, Max. How are you doing?
Hi, Jesse. I'm really great, and I'm really looking forward to talk to you.
This is going to be an English podcast, even though we could easily speak German with each other, but I think we'd lose a large part of the
Yes,
audience. So I hope it's not weird for you if I call you Max.
totally fine.
Max, let's have a quick look at your guys' website and just to give people an idea. The reason why I wanted to talk to you guys mainly was the 21 Energy Port product that you guys recently released. I want to talk to you about that. But with this as the backdrop, Max, maybe give people a brief introduction into 21 Energy for those who haven't heard of it. I know you guys are out of Europe, obviously, so not everybody might know. So yeah, give people a quick introduction where 21 Energy started and what you guys are selling today, what your product palette is looking like.
Yes, very happy to do so. So we started 21 Energy in October 2022. So we are 3.5 years on the market, and we are a Bitcoin heating company through and through. So everything we developed, we only developed because we developed Bitcoin heating devices. In total, we have now shipped over 8,000 orders. There is also Bitcoin miners included, and we shipped nearly 3,000 Bitcoin heating devices. We are growing really, really fast. We are also going into like 21 Energy as a platform. Maybe we can talk a little bit later about that with aggregated grid balancing services, over thousands of heating devices, Bitcoin mining containers for grid balancing, and 21 Energy can act as a platform and connect the Bitcoin space heaters with the Bitcoin central heating systems with the Bitcoin mining containers, and that's our journey.
All right, so you guys focus mainly on heat. I don't think we have to explain to the audience how that works. Bitcoin miners produce heat. You use that heat.
Yes.
Tell my audience, because that's something where I often struggle, right? What are sort of the more economic use cases for this, right? Because typically, and maybe you can also allude to where your guys' market is today. Typically, electricity will be more expensive per kilowatt hour than heating from gas, right? So tell
Yes.
me how people use this in an economical way and install it so that they don't end up losing out to the opportunity cost.
Yes. So we sell at the moment into 37 countries, and we're doing approximately 60% of our revenue and orders in the German-speaking area. I think because we are just well known there over all the German-speaking Bitcoin podcasts and YouTubers. And so if you like, it's a completely different economical setup than a Bitcoin mining farm. There is nearly no Bitcoin mining farm left in Europe, and in Norway they are leaving as well. So it's not profitable if you only mine, but you produce a lot of heat, and through that it can get really profitable. For example, this is also why I started this company. I'm still living in Austria, and I was needing 2,000 liters of heating oil to heat my house, and this was crazy expensive. So I started, because I'm into Bitcoin since 2017, I started Bitcoin mining in my living room, and it got tropical hot in the summer. So I thought, why not mine in the winter? And so I built a prototype to get the noise a little bit down. And I was heating the first winter with Bitcoin mining 100%. And I didn't need the 2,000 liters of heating oil. And on top of the higher electricity bill, back then it was way more profitable. At this point, I even made a surplus on the electricity bill. So in total, I was 4,000 euros cheaper than compared to my opportunity cost with the heating oil. And at the same time, I was heating with 100% renewable energies here in Tyrol from water hydropower. So it was, for me, it was an absolute no-brainer. It's 4,000 euros cheaper and at the same time much more sustainable. So I thought, why is not everybody heating like that? And the answer was very clear, because nobody knows about it. And second, there are no products for that. And this is how the journey 2022 began. And like times, of course, have shifted. We have now a worse hash price. At the moment, we have a really low hash price, historical low hash price. But still, it can be very profitable in Europe to heat with Bitcoin heating. It's like if you do, if so in at the moment it's like this. Everybody has already a heating system and sees, okay, does it make sense to buy an additional second heating system? And still, then it makes for a lot of people sense. So, for example, alone in Austria, we still have 550,000 households which are heating with heating oil. And for them, like the heating oil at the moment is crazy expensive and getting even more expensive with the Iran conflict. And the electricity, for example, in Austria, if you get a good electricity price, you're somewhere between 22 cents per kilowatt hour, including all taxes and grid fees. And if you can now deduct, in these bad hash price scenarios, you can deduct 7, 8, 9 cent cashback with an Oven 2 Pro, for example, which has the Antminer S21 chip inside. You are already down to 10, 11 cents, still in a minus, but you would have paid for the heating oil with a efficiency rate of 90%, something like that, what the heating oil system has. You would be somewhere between 16, 17, 18 cents. So you are already 6%, 6 cent cheaper, or 33% cheaper than with heating oil, for example, in Austria. Of course, it's something different if you are in Germany and you pay 35 cents, 40 cents, maybe it doesn't make sense. But also in Germany, like the situation with the gas and how much gas they have in their storage system, it was already close in the last winter and it doesn't look that good for the next winters. So it's also something about in the independency, because a lot of countries can produce their own electricity, but they cannot produce their own fossil fuels. And for me, Bitcoin heating is like the perfect economical incentive to move much, much faster in the energy transition in Europe, because you have economical incentives and you don't need any subsidies to do it. And of course, the heat pump is also a good opportunity, a good prospect for a new heating device, but it's much more expensive in the beginning. And depending in which country you are, it maybe doesn't make any economical sense. For example, if you would be in the north of Norway and you pay 5 cents, it doesn't make any sense to take the heating pump compared to a Bitcoin heater where you make 5 to 10 cents per kilowatt hour back. And if you're in Germany and you pay 40 cents, of course, the heat pump will win. But there are also a lot of locations where the heat pump is no option. So also there, the Bitcoin heater can win.
I get it, right? So I mean, you guys have, and this is, we've known each other for quite a bit of time, and you guys are running a successful Bitcoin mining business, which is,
yes,
hats off. It's not very easy.
Appreciate it.
And because people don't understand it, they don't understand the economics, and now you're adding existing energy economics to it. So it makes it all very, and so the first batch of sales that you guys do is to enthusiasts, right? People who don't really care whether they lose a bit of money in opportunity costs and blah, 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 because they just want to have a cool 21 energy Bitcoin heater at home and to show their friends. It's a bit like the NerdX effect or the BitX effect, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, you guys are scaling. You guys, you're growing your team. You have fancy marketing now. You got fancy beards as well still. So like, you're obviously growing, and you can only do that
Yeah.
if you're selling a product that the market accepts, and there's a genuine benefit to people to do
Mhm.
that. And your product, your variations and what you guys sell has also wildly expanded from 2-3 years ago. You guys were
Mhm.
also on the Austrian version of Shark Tank, right?
Exactly.
two
Yes,
two
two
minutes
times.
2 million or something. What is it called?
Yes, it's 2 minutes, 2 millions. And we were already two times there. So first time we made the normal Shark Tank pitch. And because they loved it so much, we were in the next series once again as an, how is it called? Erfolgsgeschichte. So
Okay.
success story.
Like,
And it
like
was
an
really cool.
alumni.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so my
exactly.
question to you now, Max, is what other areas in the world are you looking at? Because take it from me, right? South Africa,
Yes.
cool. In winter, now we have winter time, which means in the morning it's, I don't know, a bit cold, and in the evening as well when the sun doesn't shine. But the uptime for
Yes.
any heating device is very, very low. So that's why everything
Yes.
heating is electric here, right? So buying an oven 2 Pro doesn't really make much sense for me. However, if I look
Yes.
at countries like, you mentioned it, Norway, Canada, I don't know, parts of Asia,
Mhm.
Russia, where it gets very cold and where people might use electricity anyway to heat because
Mhm.
power prices are so low. What keeps you from expanding beyond Europe? Do you have plans to do so? And if yes, what are they? BitX, solomining.de, got it. Premium, made in Germany. You want to go fancy? Go for NerdX or NerdQX++ for a lot of power. Worldwide shipping. Check out solomining.de today.
We are scaling like crazy and really fast. And we like at the moment, like you said it, at the moment, our 8,000 customers are probably 70% Bitcoiners and 30% are photovoltaic systems owner, which bought a cheap miner and just needed a solution for their bad feed-in tariff and got Bitcoiners through that way, which is really great to see. And we are now looking to scale in Europe, and we are rolling out this year a lot of new stuff. Like we will have the central heating system coming this year, which will make a very big difference. And we have also advanced business models coming. So we are taking out the Bitcoin out of the equation for the end consumer. So 21 Energy takes the Bitcoin volatility. We have the partners in the background which can secure the hash price several years in the future for us. It's like we have done an insurance, and the volatility can't kill us because we pay a premium, and then we have a stable hash price for the future. And we think we can scale at least 10x, sell 10x more heating devices here in Europe. And the opportunity here in Europe is so crazy big that it doesn't make sense for us at the moment to scale somewhere else. Like we are very happy to ship our Bitcoin space heaters also into the US. That's not out of the question. But there are even more additional revenue streams in Europe. For example, in Austria, it's possible now to do grid balancing aggregated. So if we have 10,000 central heating systems in Austria with 100 megawatts of Bitcoin mining capacity, and they are all connected through our 21 Energy platform, we know in every moment how many megawatts are online. And there is a water buffer tank in every central heating system. So we have also, if the customer wants that, we can turn on and turn off his central heating systems, but he doesn't feel it because he has always hot water in the buffer tank. And so we can do aggregated grid balancing both in the positive as also in the negative direction. And through that's already several hundred euros of additional revenue stream per central heating system. And like the advanced business models we have coming is like you buy a central heating system for us, or you don't even buy it, you rent it. You don't have high upcome costs. You only pay 200 euros, for example, for the central heating systems a month. You get also the energy contract from 21 Energy, and we deduct, for example, a fixed price per kilowatt hour for every kilowatt hour which goes through our Bitcoin heating system in your place. And so you have fixed heating costs for the next coming 4 years, and we can power it on and off as we like. But we always guarantee that you have a hot or warm water, so it's never getting cold. But at the same time, we doing aggregated, decentralized grid balancing services, which brings so much additional revenue on stack. And I think that's the purest form of Bitcoin mining. You have the grid balancing, you have the heat usage, and it's decentralized over a lot of places. And I think that's the way Bitcoin mining will look in the future in a big scale.
So let me get this straight. Are you guys in Austria becoming an energy provider and a demand response aggregator, like as 21 Energy platform?
We are searching partner for that. So we will not be our own electricity provider. We will get a partner, and we will do maybe a white labeling service, and they have already their energy trading desks. So like we want to roll that out for pretty much every single country in Europe, and that's of course a lot to do. So I think going with partners in each country makes much more sense to do it fast. And
what
yeah,
on the back end of this, so let me just get this straight, because this is like, I've never heard this before. This is really, really cool. So let's say you have 100 customers and they each have
yes,
any of your systems running.
yes,
Then you can remote control those devices if they want you to, depending
yes,
on whether there's money to be made from shutting on or shutting off the devices, turning on or shutting
yes.
down devices. Yeah,
If they
really
opt in
cool.
in our 21 Energy platform, it's opt-in. So the customers who bought it now, they can decide afterwards if they would like to join these additional revenue streams. And then, yes, they would be part of the demand response program of 21 Energy, and they get also benefits from them or the revenue from that, of course.
I don't think that exists anywhere else in the world so far. I don't think
Yeah.
any other company has like distributed devices that can aggregate those and shut them all down at once. Does it not matter where in Austria the devices are? Like,
No,
how does that work?
that's the funny thing. That's the funny thing. It's same in Germany. That's the same. I think it's everywhere in Europe, but I'm not sure about that. But I know it's definitely in Austria and in Germany. Like they only measure the grid frequency in one place, and they don't make a difference if it's in the complete north or in the south or in the west or in the east. There is only one grid frequency, and they don't make, like, if you are part of the demand response program, they don't care where you are located in Austria. So you can power on and off completely in the east or in the west, even though it would make more sense to do it in the other side of the country, because is the surplus. But at the moment, the grids in Germany and Austria do not take this into account. So, and in Austria, it's since the 1st of October 2025, so last year, where it's you can do it like the aggregated. Before, if you wanted to do grid balancing services, you would have to have 150 kilowatts is the absolute lowest number you must have on one single grid access point. But since the 1st of October, you can pool it over 1,000 access points from the grid together into one pool, and then you can do the aggregated grid balancing thing.
When they changed those regulations,
Yes.
what did they have in mind? Surely they didn't think, all these
No.
guys with Bitcoin miners can help. What
Definitely
was
not.
the thought?
They had the normal water boilers in mind.
So geysers in people's houses that use electricity to produce hot water, yeah?
Exactly.
Interesting.
Yes. That's
yeah,
what they had
we've
in
got
mind.
2 of those on this roof above me, but they're
Yeah.
on solar. in South Africa, obviously.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Right. So
We have
even
a
in
lot
winter, you
in
get solar
Austria.
and it heats up. Okay, that's super cool. Okay, Max, talk to me before we head into the port.
Yes.
If you want to add anything else on the platform, please do that. But I would also like to cover the automation from solar, right? So the concept of, hey, I've
Yeah.
got excess solar, a lot of people have it. You know, the feed-in tariffs suck. Cool, we all know that. But
Yeah.
where I always get stuck is the automation. All right, how do
Yes.
you guys solve the automation between different inverter brands that
Yes.
have different interfaces and
Yes.
automatically controlling a miner? Because what doesn't scale is people sitting there on their phones, you know, turning on and off their machines on a Wi-Fi plug. Like that's okay, but it doesn't really work, right? What
Yeah.
does the automation look like for you guys? How did you solve it?
So we developed the 21 Energy port because like we built the complete control stack either way for our Bitcoin heaters, and we just repurposed it. So like Bitcoin mining was very technical, and it was not a possibility that the customer cannot set up his Bitcoin heater like a Bitcoin miner. So we made a really nice interface. We had like the Bitcoin miner runs Brains OS, and Brains OS has a really nice API access points. And so we developed our 21 Energy app and software stack completely on that. But we also support WhatsMiner API access. And so we repurposed the software from our Bitcoin heaters to the pod because we have thousands of customers which buy Bitcoin miners from us to monetize the surplus electricity. But they have exactly the problem like you said. A lot of them did it with a timed clock. Um, or,
Yeah.
but it
It's not the
doesn't,
same, man. Then it
yeah,
changes, you know, there's a cloud.
exactly,
It's not clean.
exactly. It's not clean at all. And so we came up with the port, and you can plug in up to 250 miners theoretically into that. Like you can add many additional switches to these 4 access points, and then you have a really clean setup. You can
What?
then yes,
Why 250?
because I think it's 256, and that's the IP limit. Like no,
Okay. The IP
we
range. You have
don't.
to have a different
Yes,
IP range.
exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's the theoretical limit, but our 21 Energy app is definitely not optimized for that amount of miners. I think most of the customers will have a few miners on that, and therefore it's
Yeah, you need a
perfectly
bit more
fine.
compute power to manage a lot of those API calls. Okay. All right. So
Exactly.
what's underneath here? This is basically, I mean, how this speaks to miners is you know is pretty obvious. You guys,
Yes.
just to summarize what you said, right? You have an API running on here. You have
Yes.
an app, and that app
Yes.
speaks to the API of Brains OS or the WhatsMiner API that I'm using also for project here in South Africa. So I'm familiar with that. How does this thing connect to your inverter? And what does the inverter need to have for this to work?
Yes. So at this point of time, you can either talk directly, like we have a completely open API access, so you can connect the API of your inverter to the API of the pod. But which is my favorite version is we have a what's the home automation software? Home Assistant, sorry. The Home Assistant, we have an own 21 Energy plugin. So you just install it, it's a few seconds, and then you have the full, like every inverter works with Home Assistant. Our system works with Home Assistant, so you can connect it perfectly, and then you can control the Bitcoin miners over the board super, super easy. And we will bring much more features for the pod, but also for the Bitcoin heaters in the future, like direct integration with variable electric tariffs, where you can just choose, I'm in this country, I'm using that variable electric tariff, and then you can define limits, for example, and the miner fully automatically shuts down or powers on, or whatever you have set in the automations.
Buying Bitcoin miners should be simple, safe, and fast. Altair technology delivers exactly that. Based in the US and shipping directly from St. Louis, Altair eliminates all the shady messaging groups, customs and tariffs issues, and makes sure Bitcoin miners get to you on time. Altair stocks leading commercial ASIC miners, efficient home units, and all the critical parts you need, backed by real inventory, real support, and a team of people that you can rely on and actually mines Bitcoin. Thank you so much, Altair Technology, for supporting the show. And without further ado, let's get back to it. So, a lot to build, Max. You got a lot of capital now. You got at least 2 million running around.
No.
Where you have to pay yourself. Okay, cool. But question, what are you going to build first? Out of all these things, what's the priority?
So at the moment, like the board is already built, and we are developing the software. Every month we bring updates for the Bitcoin heaters and of course also for the board. The central heating system is we putting a lot of resources into that. We will have the first field tests in June already. So the first field test customers will get the 21 Energy central heating systems in 1.5 months. And a lot of resources are going there. And the software platform for the advanced business models is already built pretty far out, and we are continuing on that. So at the moment, to be honest, like we have now already a much bigger team. We are at the moment 16 full-time equivalents, but 24 persons. So we can build now a lot more stuff in at the same time without losing focus. So yeah, at the moment we are doing all of that in this at the same. But to add to that, we are developing the central heating system with one of the biggest European traditional heating systems producer. So we will be able to ship.
Can you say who?
Not yet, no. I'm not allowed. But we can ship and build and install thousands and thousands of central heating systems a year, and we will have more central heating systems coming, for example, for also for bigger apartment houses, not only single family homes. And yeah, really looking forward to that.
All right. Max, I have one more question for you, and then I want to do a quick round of rapid fire with you, and then we close out. Cool? All right. So, last question. Bitmain chips, they like to fail. In Europe, as I'm aware, there's not really any warranty repair center. How do you do maintenance on the Oven 2 Pro product if chips fail?
If chips fail, the customer immediately gets a new machine, sends the old one back, and we take out the hashboard and send it to a Bitmain repair center. And there is a new one. The first one in Europe is already here. Okay. Like there is one, to my knowledge, like Lucas is already handling that, but there is one official one, and there are several other places where you can do it. There's a really good repair center. It's not from Bitmain, but you can do it in Portugal, which is a really good one. So yeah, we are repairing the hashboards. Yeah.
All right. And do you have S21 Pro hashboards, also for sale when people have machines that are out of warranty? A lot of my clients, they want to get their hashboards fixed, but then the machines are out of warranty, and then getting a new hashboard is often very difficult. Do you sell those as well?
That's a good idea. No, not yet. At the moment, we only sell the whole miner. But we could very well look into that to also sell just single hashboards, because we have them.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Quick round of rapid fire, Max. You ready?
Yes.
All right. What's the biggest difference between the Oven 1, the first products you guys released, and the Oven 2 series?
The Oven 1 didn't have the 21 Energy app, so it was difficult to set it up. Now it's super easy, step-by-step guidance through an app, and also your grandparents, which have never done something with Bitcoin mining, can do it within minutes.
What is the biggest challenge explaining your products to people who do not understand Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining?
They always ask, but what do I do if Bitcoin is zero tomorrow? And the only true answer you can give is, yeah, then it's a very expensive space heater, which is not the best answer they want to hear. So our answer to that is building out these advanced business models where we take over the Bitcoin volatility for them, and so they don't have the risk. That's our answer.
All right. How do you explain Bitcoin mining to somebody who doesn't understand it? What is Bitcoin mining? How does it work? What is this thing? What is your answer?
Okay, to someone which hasn't any prior knowledge about Bitcoin or anything, I say it's like it's a banking server which checks you can't send 10,000 euros if you only have 5,000 on your bank account. And a Bitcoin miner secures that in the Bitcoin networks, and you can somewhat compare it like that.
Today, the majority of your clients is people who enjoy Bitcoin or follow Bitcoin, are into it. What's the traditional client in 5 years?
In 5 years, I am very confident that the majority of our customers is sadly not Bitcoiners anymore. We will still have a lot of Bitcoin, but I'm very hopeful that we can build out the best heating devices, so also non-Bitcoiners buy Bitcoin heating devices. And what would be better if we have tens of thousands of central heating systems, maybe with a full node included in non-Bitcoiners' homes. So it's a big win for Bitcoiners. And like we learned, we solved a lot of problems for the solar guys, and they got Bitcoiners over that way. So we are very proud that we already made a lot of Bitcoiners with 21 Energy, and I'm very sure if customers can save a lot of money by having a Bitcoin central heating systems, they will get also Bitcoiners more likely and faster.
Yeah, so you guys are progressing the crowd on the S-curve. Guys, this was Maximilian Obwexer of 21 Energy, straight out of Austria. I know I have a lot of American viewers. If you haven't heard about their company, go follow all the links in the description. They're a great bunch. They've been around. They know what they're doing. If you need a space heater, go follow them. They can be imported from Europe as well, even though I'm not sure how this works with the China tariffs and the chips. There might be something, but we'll figure that
device.
out. Maybe I should be speaking to Canadians. There you go. It's a heating device. All the best. Thank you so much, Maximilian, for jumping on and your time, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Jess. It was a pleasure.